Hi, I'm Jason Ramsden, and I believe we can all work on leading a more positive and intentional life. And this show details my journey by sharing my learning, stories, and conversations with guests. If you want to lead a more intentional life focused on being the best you possible, please subscribe today. Now, let's get into today's episode. Hello, Positivity Posse. Coach Jay here with another edition of Positivity on Fire. Today we are talking about harnessing humility in our lives. Now, in a previous episode, we talked about faith and confidence. We talked about having self-confidence and self-esteem. All focus on self-efficacy, but it doesn't mean that you can be braggadocious. You have to be humble, and humility is a big part of that. Start us off with a quote by John Ruskin today that says, "I believe the first test of a truly great person is in their humility." Now, you may be wondering to yourself, what exactly is humility? You may have a rough sense of it, but for those of you who aren't quite sure, humility is a modest or low view of one's own importance. Humbleness, in essence. So why today's topic? Well, right now, this episode drops on June 26th, 2021, and my family is most likely moving into our brand new home in Massachusetts right now. And as I've mentioned on shows before, that means I am getting ready, getting prepared to have a whole new life, a whole new career, and a whole new way of doing things. And while I have big goals, lofty goals around Impact One Media and where we can take my belief in improving humanity, improving people, and helping people see the light around positive thinking, positive mindset, it is not going to happen overnight. It is not going to be a game changer right away, but it will be successful if I stay the course, I stay focused, and I work on being humble along the way. And that's where humility comes in. So as I'm getting ready to launch this company, first and foremost, humility has to be focused on taking responsibility to know what my limits are, to be able to admit my mistakes, to be able to realize that I'm not going to always have the answer, and to be honest with myself around my thoughts and feelings in regard to making the best use of my life moving forward. And you may be saying to yourself, Jay, you don't come across as somebody who's braggadocious. You have been open and honest in your work. You've been open and honest in your journey around positivity and becoming a better person. The things that you share make sense. They don't sound like somebody who is braggadocious. Well, you're right. I try not to be. There are certain circumstances where that comes to pass, and certainly has a lot to do probably with a rivalry with my brother and nephew around the backyard wiffle ball tournaments that we play. But that's for fun. But in real life, in my work life, in my professional life, and in dealing with others, I do believe that being humble goes a long way towards being successful. As you've come to learn, I love to do my research. I love to read articles online. I love to consume content that helps me formulate thoughts and concepts to give to you as you work on your own positivity quest, your own improvement to your mindset. And today I found a great piece on humility, 7 ways to help you develop your humility. And the interesting about this article is that this isn't just about applying this if you're in a leadership role. That's not what this podcast is about. It's not what my show is about. A lot of it is applicable to leaders and being a good leader, because you can't be a good leader unless you're constantly working on yourself. At least that's my own opinion. But what I like most about these 7 concepts is that they are things that are really relatively straightforward. You can put them in practice right away. They have deeper meaning that you can continue to work on in your life. And I think you may find them helpful in your journey. So, number 1, give up trying to influence others. The key component here is you say what you need to say, you do what you need to do, and then you really let go of whether or not people like it, or they agree with you, or they do anything differently because you have said something, right? You need to give up trying to influence others. Now, it doesn't mean that you're necessarily giving up control over one thing, but the only thing that you can control is yourself. Trying to give up influence other really demonstrates respect for others, allowing them to form their own opinions, allowing them to run with the topic, allowing them the ability to take in the information that you've shared, just like this show, digest it for yourself and figure out how it's applicable to your own life. I'm sharing for the sole purpose of sharing what's on my mind to make me a better person. How you use it is up to you. Tip 2, be prepared to concede. Be prepared to say, listen, I get it. We're going to make a concession here. We can agree to disagree. But for the purpose of moving things forward, I'm okay. I'm okay with this idea. I'm okay with this change. Because there are times that it is important to acquiesce. It's important to compromise. It is a way of allowing others to feel validated in the work that they're doing, in the life that they're leading. But it's also important to make sure that you stand true to your values, that you stand true to your principles, and that you don't compromise on those as a risk to compromising your integrity. So it's okay to proceed, except when it really, really matters. If it is something that matters to you deeply from a conviction point of view, it's okay not to concede, but there are times when you must concede in order to move things forward. Tip 3, and I think this is just part of being a human, not that everybody does it, but show a genuine interest in others. Allow other people to be this kind of source of fascination. I consider myself to be a lifelong observationalist. I love watching people. I love listening and watching for cues in conversations. I am a lifelong observationalist around that. And I love when I am able to understand what's happening with other people. I really want to go a little bit deeper. I want to ask some poignant questions. I want to get an understanding about who they are and what makes them tick. And if you give this a try yourself, you'll find that people reciprocate as well, that when you show a genuine interest in others, this kind of broadens your horizons as well and allows you to see things a little bit differently, which ultimately feeds into being a more humble person. Next tip, be aware without being judgmental. Please, we talked about this in episode 6, where we talked about who's judging you, really. Be aware about being judgmental. Typically, you're judgmental of others when you see something that you don't like in yourself. When you aren't judgmental of others, it allows you to build awareness. It allows you to build understanding. It provides you with the ability to be open to new information, to gain perhaps a broader perspective about life, about others. So if you can focus on not being judgmental and learning from others, that also is a great way to add some humbleness into your life. Next tip, and now this is for the people out there who see things in shades of black and white and don't allow themselves to see shades of gray, but it's okay to accept ambiguity and paradox. Life doesn't always have to be predictable. It can be unpredictable. There is a polarity there. And when things in your life don't go as planned, and we know this happens with regularity, when things don't go as planned, it's okay to embrace what is unfolding without a complaint, without a worry. It is okay for you to say, I'm going to learn from what's happening in my life right now. And it's okay to accept that. It's okay to accept the ambiguity of a life that is not planned. Next, ask for help. I'm a big believer in asking others for help when you need it. No one has unlimited resources. No one has unlimited amount of expertise in any one area. It's not possible to build up that type of reservoir. It's okay to ask for help. It is not a sign of weakness. It's okay to admit that you've reached your limits, and it's okay to ask for some saving grace to move forward. And finally, accept imperfections in yourself and in others, which really boils down to life is heavy enough? Why not add a little lightheartedness to your day? Stop worrying about being perfect. Stop worrying about your reputation. Stop worrying about whether or not you're accepted or not accepted by others. I think there is nothing greater than accepting your imperfections. I do want to be clear, though, after sharing some of these tips and tricks from some of my research, is that having humility and being humble has nothing to do with a lack of confidence, has nothing to do with being weak, and has nothing to do with being selfish. I believe that humbleness is a form of quiet self-confidence. And the quiet confidence comes from allowing your actions, allowing the results of your life, allowing your ability to show others what it means to be vulnerable, what it means to be kind, what it means to be patient, what it means to be gracious. The action speaks for themselves, and you don't have to let people know that those are areas that you're working on in your life, that you're improving, that you're seeing yourself meeting your goals around being a better human. And when you start to do that, you'll find that people are attracted to you. They want to be around you. They want to learn from you. They want to get to know you. They want to have conversations with you. And ultimately, people who are humble, people who have a high sense of humility, end up being the type of people who get to be respected. They are often very kind. They tend to do a good job of leading people. They are selfless in the act of others, and they typically don't stress out much. And humility can be the glue that binds everything else together. It can be the foundation of making your life great. Think about it for a minute. If you make your life more about others than about yourself, I believe you can leave this life a better place than when you found it. And as we prepare to close out today's show, I will leave you with one other thought, one other quote that comes from Ezra Taft Benson. With pride, there are many curses. With humility, there comes many blessings. And if there's one thing that I wish for all of you who are listening to this show, who are regular listeners, who are loyal listeners, who may just be popping in from time to time, is that I wish for you many blessings in your life. I wish for the best. I hope that you find yourself on this positivity quest like I'm on this positivity quest. I hope that you will find it in yourself to share with others what you're trying to do, how you're trying to become a better human for yourself and for others. And I hope that someday perhaps you'll also reach out and let me know. Drop me an email at jason@positivityonfire.com. Fill me in. Let me know how your positivity quest is going. And just remember, as I close out every show, I want to say thank you for your time and listening. Thank you for spending a portion of your day with me, whether you are out there mowing the lawn, doing the groceries, doing the laundry, taking a walk, whatever it may be. The time that you give me every episode is a gift, and I appreciate it sincerely. And always remember, be well, be happy, be you, and until next time, may your quest for positivity begin today. If you liked today's episode, please go to podchaser.com, search for Positivity on Fire, and leave a 5-star rating and review. For more on my positivity quest, follow me at positively_J on Instagram or TikTok, or engage with the show by visiting direct.me/Jason Ramsden. Have an amazing day.